What's up everybody, I'm Landon with LMR.com. In this video, we're going to be talking about all things 2020 GT500 and how the Ford Performance team built the baddest production Mustang ever. Let's go. So before I get into all of the cool details on this car, know that I'll be touching base on all of the standard features first, and then we'll dissect the different packages towards the end of the video. So the power plant in the GT500 is codenamed Predator, and rightfully so. This supercharged powerhouse packs 760 horsepower at 7,300 RPM and 625 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 RPM with 93 octane fuel, and that's going to crown the GT500 the most powerful street-legal Mustang Ford has ever produced. The driving force for all this power is a 2.65-liter root-style supercharger that spins 12 pounds of boost. Unlike the superchargers on past GT500s, the blower on the 2020 GT500 is an inverted design that positions the intercooler at the top instead of down in the engine valley. According to the Ford engineers, this adds a lower center of gravity for the supercharger itself and offers lower charge temps, which are always a good thing with forced induction. Now, the Predator does share close DNA to that of the Voodoo engine found in the GT350s and 350R. The aluminum block has a displacement of 5.2 liters or 315 cubic inches, a 370 bore, and 366 stroke. 9.5:1 compression ratio, but it does utilize a traditional cross-plane crankshaft. The short block is loaded with weight-saving wire arc cylinder liners, forged connecting rods, forged pistons, and of course, that forged cross-plane crankshaft. In typical Ford modular engine fashion, the cylinder heads are a dual overhead cam design with GT500 specific camshafts that have a supercharger-friendly lobe design. Along with all of that neat stuff, the engineers even designed a unique structural oil pan that adds strength, reduces vibration, and even has a patented active valve baffling system to keep the oil where it's needed at the pickup tube. So how does Ford channel all of the Predator power through the driveline? With a Tremec 7-speed dual clutch transmission. The 7-speed DCT is capable of jaw-dropping shifts under 100 milliseconds, and it's another first for the Mustang. This dual clutch transmission is designed for multiple drive modes, including normal, weather, sport, drag, and my personal favorite, track. Each of these modes offers a custom driving experience utilizing the vehicle's high-tech systems to optimize vehicle dynamics and powertrain response based on the selected mode. Now, without question, this transmission has honestly been the topic of discussion amongst die-hard Mustang enthusiasts. I, for one, love a manual transmission, but the DCT is by far in a league of its own and, without question, is extremely cool in its own way. Whenever the transmission is in drive, you can select the manual option, which gives you full control of upshifts and downshifts via the vehicle's paddle shifters. Continuing through the driveline, a carbon fiber drive shaft connects the DCT transmission to the torsion differential and its 373 rear gear ratio. As far as axle shafts are concerned, that's one of the first things I looked at whenever we got the car on the lift. From what it looks like, they appear to be made from a different material, which could yield a stronger axle shaft because of the increase in horsepower and torque. There isn't really much information available right now, but I'm sure as people start to beat on these cars, we'll find out just how strong they are. In order to accompany a great drivetrain, Ford Performance's engineers knew they had to deliver a remarkable suspension. The GT500 takes advantage of revised suspension geometry with inspiration from the Ford GT and the Mustang GT4 race car. A new electric power steering unit is also on board, along with lighter weight front and rear springs and Ford's MagneRide shock and strut system. Add all of that cool stuff together, and the payoff is the highest ever lateral acceleration from a Mustang. Now, we all know that a fast car typically needs to come to a stop. Well, Ford didn't play around with the braking system for the 2020 GT500. Bringing this car to a stop are massive, and I mean massive, 16.5-inch front rotors accompanied with Brembo 6-piston calipers and 14.6-inch rear rotors with 4-piston Brembo calipers. The rotors themselves are a multi-piece design which includes aluminum hats to reduce weight and a traditional iron brake ring. Now, for the data junkies out there, the front brakes on the new GT500 have 20% more swept area or surface area and 30% more thermal mass than the GT350 brakes. The GT500 also utilizes an electronic assist parking brake and a 3D printed ABS sensor bracket. Switching gears to the exterior, the GT500 received frontal and rearward enhancements, which is very typical for Ford engineers and designers when developing a car on an existing chassis. The GT500 not only offers menacing looks, but a ton of functional aero components as well. When comparing the front bumper to the GT350s, the Ford engineers increased airflow by more than 50% thanks to them doubling the number of openings. This was done to make sure all 6 of the heat exchangers that are stuffed in there receive all the fresh, cool air that they can. Along with the wide fenders, Ford repurposed the GT350 headlights because of the lightweight carbon fiber composite radiator support. Both the front and rear wheels measure in at 20 by 11 inches and have specific offsets. They're also constructed from aluminum and utilize the flow forming process. They're wrapped in Ford Performance Spec, Michelin Pilot Sport 4S rubber. The hood on the GT500 features functional hood release pins as well as a very large 31 by 28 inch louvered hood vent that incorporates a removable aluminum rain tray for better heat extraction and increased downforce. Ford even tossed in a single hood strut, which surprisingly enough is another first for the Mustang. At the rear of the car, you'll find the largest snake ever on a Mustang positioned on the deck lid panel, and sticking with the largest ever theme here are 5-inch exhaust tips in that very good looking quad tip configuration. Now, non-track pack cars receive a traditional style spoiler, and if you opt for the handling pack, you get a gurney flap, which adds additional downforce. Switching gears to the inside of the car, and you'll find standard issue S550 styling with a splash of GT500 specific tidbits. Most notable is the gear select knob, which is placed perfectly atop the GT500 specific center console. The steering wheel feels real nice in the hands, and it features premium materials such as leather and Alcantara, as well as a sightline for steering wheel orientation. Standard issue features include the 12-inch digital cluster, 8-inch infotainment system, and a 9-speaker sound system, just to name a few. Not to mention the exposed carbon fiber dash applique also looks right at home inside of the 500. Like many other vehicles that Ford produces, you can mix and match the GT500 with a few different packages. The carbon fiber track pack is definitely the top dog and pushes the GT500 even further in regards to looks and performance. This package includes lightweight exposed carbon fiber wheels that measure 20 by 11 inches in the front and 20 by 11.5 inches in the rear, and those are wrapped in very sticky Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. The rear seats are deleted for even more weight savings, and Recaro leather trimmed front seats come standard. Lastly, Ford includes a passenger side oil separator, which will help prevent oil vapor from making its way back through the intake system. Now, if you aren't dropping almost $19,000 on the carbon fiber track pack, you'll have the choice of a handling pack and a technology package. The handling package is about as simple as it comes, and according to Ford's website, you get a gurney flap and front splitter wickers. The technology package gets you a 12-speaker B&O sound system, Ford's blind spot information system, heated exterior mirrors with integrated turn signals and Cobra LED puddle lamps, a voice-activated touchscreen navigation system, and a very comfortable 6-way driver's seat with 3 memory settings. Guys, there is no doubt about it. Ford went all in with the 2020 GT500 and has ultimately set the bar very, very high for not only other manufacturers, but Ford themselves. As always, we're extremely honored and very grateful to bring you all this amazing content on Ford's Halo Mustang. That'll wrap things up for this rundown on the baddest production Mustang ever, the 2020 Shelby GT500. We'll catch you guys next time, but be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And for more Mustang content, you know what to do by now. Keep it right here with the Real Enthusiasts, LMR.com.